Sammy, G, great to be here. What a time to be alive.
We're just chilling out. We're just chilling, Hoyne. We're just chilling out.
Tell you what, I was a bit crook on Sunday and Monday, and I said to my wife, I said, it can't be sick at this time of year. We've worked 30 weeks to get to this stage, and woke up this morning and thank the Lord we're
bright as
full
a
of
button.
energy and we're ready to rock and roll.
Bounce back. Nice
ready
work.
to rock and roll.
What are you going to start us with?
Well, we're going to start. Well, we thought, it's prelim final week. It's probably
Merritt, you want to start there?
We'll steer clear of
What
that.
a weekend
we'll
it is.
Steer clear of that.
Prelim
Probably,
final.
and I know I've heard a lot of people speak about it, and there's a bit of recency bias, understand it, but can't remember two better prelims to have in Melbourne. It's just going to be unbelievable. But we'll start with what Kingy has spoken about for 10, 15 years, PFI, Preliminary Final Integrity. And we thought a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the difference between home and away footy and finals footy like we did, and we briefly touched on what to expect around prelims. So we'll just focus in on what actually happens in prelims and what has been there for the last 15 years, and touching on chaos and control. Nice and simple. Our listeners might remember this conversation briefly from a couple of weeks ago, but we thought we'll just bring it to light tonight. So the last 15 years, so there's been 30 prelims in the last 15 years. Okay, 25 of them out of the 30 have been chaotic. 25 out of 30 have been chaotic.
This is a measurement of chaos again.
More ground balls up for grabs than marks.
Chaos v control.
Chaos v control. Control is more marks than ground balls. So that's 25 out of 30 prelims have been chaotic. Keep it in mind, home and away footy is a 50-50 return. Right, so if you're bracing yourself for that, you're bracing yourself that the ball is going to live on the deck. These four teams, where do you sit from a ground ball situation? And this is some green flags for some and a red flag for one in particular. So the 2025 ground ball ranking, Brisbane are 3. Happy days if you back for Brisbane. Cats are 4. Hawks are 12th. And the Pies are 16th. The last 6 weeks, which is what we always go back to, the form side of things. Hawks are 3rd.
Right.
So they're coming. They're coming. They're probably playing their best footy that they have all season.
That's one of the issues that Sam Mitchell clearly was pointing to when he said we're not there right now.
Yeah, and
a period of time ago.
And, Sam's clearly knows what's going on at Hawthorn better than anyone else. But as we've said a lot throughout the year with Hawthorn, what he has spoken about and the numbers and everything that we look at has gone hand in hand, as opposed to what a lot on the outside have thought Hawthorn have been travelling. So the last 6 weeks, Hawks 3, Cats 4, Lions 5. So no surprise why they're there prelim weekend. The Pies are 17th from a ground. They have won the ground ball battle in only 2 of their last 12 games.
Hoyne.
So that would be the slight area of concern if you're a Collingwood supporter. And then you go back when these teams have last played. So round 6, Geelong Hawthorn, absolute classic, Easter Monday. That was played in a chaotic game. Okay, Geelong had more ground balls than marks that day. They were happy just to play, get the footy forward, challenge the Hawthorn defence. Then you go to round 21, Brisbane v Collingwood in their most recent battle. And that was chaotic as well. And it suited Brisbane that day. Yes, Collingwood were missing a lot, but it suited Brisbane based off this ground ball issue as well. Collingwood couldn't get through in a chaotic fashion. Take your mind back, if in a positive sense, if you're a Collingwood supporter, to the 2023 grand final. That's one of the only grand finals over the last 15 years that was played in a control sense. So Collingwood were able to get the ball out of chaos and get it into control sense and were able to dictate the game for large periods of that 2023 grand final. So potentially with this ground ball issue that Collingwood have got up against Brisbane, whose ground ball game is really strong, can they get the ball out of chaos and get it into a control situation so that 17th ranking from a ground ball perspective doesn't become an issue prelim final weekend. And then the last one for PFI, right? The preliminary. So
Preliminary Final Integrity.
Preliminary Final Integrity. So somebody told me today, I don't watch too much TV, so I'm hoping you two can come with me. There apparently used to be this show called 8 is Enough.
Right? Used to me.
8 is Enough.
You ever watched that one, Joe?
No.
No.
There used to be this show that's called 8 is Enough.
Is that free to wear, is it?
Well, I'm telling you, in prelims, 80 is enough.
80
80 is
ground
enough.
balls.
Nope.
Nope.
The race to 80.
Right.
8 is enough. You're taking us back to
So-
the late 70s there.
Apparently
That's a
I was
70s
just speaking
sitcom.
to someone today and they said 8 is enough. And I was like, okay.
1977 sitcom.
There,
Bit,
there you go.
bit like Brady Bunch. I mean.
Something
Shows,
like- yeah.
shows the person's age that I was speaking to regarding this. But anyway, so in Champion Data's history, we're excluding 2020.
Right.
Yeah. Champion Data's history, there's been 50 preliminary final winners.
Yes.
50. 44 of them have scored 80 points or more. 88% win ratio if you get to 80.
First.
88% if you get to 80. So you're having a look this year. You get to 80 points. Can you get to 80 points this weekend? And against the best teams, we're not looking out, against the bottom 10, we're looking at the best. Brisbane and Geelong, no problem. They've done that frequently against the best. They've got to 80. The Hawks are a really interesting one. They're coming offensively, really strong.
Yes.
They've scored 100 points in their two finals. It's interesting if they actually don't get to that 100-point bracket against the top 8 teams, they're 2-7. Right? So are they going to be able to do that against Geelong? But they can get there. Again, the interesting one for Collingwood, they've only done it 4 times against the best this year. Got to 80. So
Sam, I'm not
can
sure
they
whether
get to
you're
80?
thinking this, but I'm feeling like Hoyne's potting Collingwood here.
Well-
I'm feeling as if he's got Collingwood.
It's wart season, and it's the season that exposes your warts. These are just the warts that Collingwood have. Whether they get exposed or not remains to
Well,
be
the
seen.
issue is, can Collingwood's backline keep the opposition to under 80?
Or can they kick 80? And
we'll
I'm
talk
thinking
through that.
Bobby Hill's got to play, doesn't he, Gerard? Gee, a lot of selection questions coming through about Mason Cox and
We'll talk
How?
through that, and that's why I don't know about you two. I love the messaging of Craig McRae at the moment. We're in match play mode.
Yes, yep.
We're in one-offs.
Yep.
We're in one-offs, and I mean, you spoke early on during today, that if it was a best out of 5,
Yes.
who would you go?
Yep.
And, you'd be pretty confident here or pretty confident there.
Yep.
But as McRae, it is match play.
That's
so
right.
we'll get into the Collingwood situation.
Okay.
Don't get too worried yet, Pies fans. But
jump
just
off.
a little bit of prelim. Just a little bit of
it's good.
prelim
It's good
final
stuff.
history and prelim final integrity. What
PFI.
stacks up?
Well, the Pies, we'll get to them as you say, but they were pretty potent week 1 of the finals.
Mm.
24 scoring shots it was against the Crows over there. All right, let's start with Friday night at Hoyne and get into some specifics here. Geelong and Hawthorn. What on earth is the Hawk Wagon?
So come with me here. The Hawk Wagon. There's 3 individuals that would be up on Chris Scott's whiteboard for this week, like we spoke about with Brisbane
Yes.
and McCluggage and,
Yes.
and Rayner. They're going to be up there. There's 3 of them that are up there, and they are the Hawk Wagon. Watson and Gunston or Newcomb. Watson and Gunston
Yeah.
or Newcomb.
Or Newcomb.
W-A-G-O-N.
Yes, okay.
Watson
Very good.
and Gunston or Newcomb. They are the 3 that are up. They are the
Took me a while, Hoyne, but
they
I got
are-
there.
They
I
are
got
the
there. I like
3
it. The
that are the
wagon.
Hawk Wagon.
Yeah.
Right. So it sounds like we'll work our way back. So it
Okay.
sounds like everyone in Australia it was Mullen to Newcomb. I think I'd be surprised if Mullen goes to Newcomb.
I was going to say
Yeah.
Mullen to the Wizard.
Atkins to Newcomb.
Sammy.
Yeah, Atkins, the axe.
Sammy.
You got to lock the
Sensational.
Wizard away.
So Watson's finals record and what he does to this team
Yes.
in finals, in quarter bursts,
Yep.
has been sensational in 4 finals that he's played. Right? So his first quarter on the weekend, yes, Newcomb went bananas at centre
Did.
clearance, right? But his first quarter hasn't been spoken about how good it was. 3 forward 50 contest wins. That goal from centre bounce off the back of Newcomb.
Yep.
That goal from centre bounce to win that ground ball, steady up, straighten up, kick the goal, and then the one on the boundary. It's
That's amazing.
It just separates games. His first quarter against GWS last week, 3rd highest rated player on the ground.
Yep.
Go back to this elimination final against the Dogs last year. Halftime margins in the balance, 3rd quarter games all over. Who dominates the 3rd quarter?
Wizard.
Nick Watson. Halftime in the semi-final, they looked flat as a tack against Port Adelaide last year in the semi-final. 3rd quarter, who gets them back up and going? Watson. Clearly the highest rated player on the ground in the second half. Almost gets them over the line and through to a prelim. So we spoke about the beauty of Geelong and what they've done with their magnets. Mullen has played half a year down back and half a year as a tagger. The tagging option that he's been used as centre bounce or as that midfielder has been on the types of Dacos, Richards, Goulden, McCluggage, Butters twice, those lighter frames. He's never done it on a brute like Newcombe has.
So what do they do with Newcombe then, you reckon?
Mark O'Connor.
Right.
Straight there. So you have these two Irish guys that they're a point of difference on the comp. O'Connor has done it against Rayner, big body. Done it against Heaney, big body. Did it against Anderson in round 13 as a pure midfielder.
Yes.
Let Atkins just do what he does, which is high pressure. He wins his own clearance. He wins his own ball. He is a genuine midfielder for him.
Yep.
That does a lot of the the hard stuff. You lock Newcombe away, Mullen to Watson. That leaves the G in the wagon, being Gunston.
Mm-hmm.
When Gunston kicks 3+ goals this year, Hawthorn are 11-3. When he doesn't, they're a 50-50 footy team.
Mm.
So clearly the Mark Keane matchup last week was horrendous.
Yep.
They're not. You wouldn't have thought they're going to get that wrong this week by putting a Guthrie or a Jack Henry straight to him.
Yep.
So that's point one with there. Then you go to each end of the ground, right? And this is where they're both just unbelievable with what they're doing over the last 6 weeks. So the Cats over the last 6 weeks are the best forward 50 in the comp. Guess who's the best D50 in the comp?
Hawkies.
The Cats are the second best D50 in the comp. Guess who's the best third best forward 50 in the comp? It is asset against asset in that aspect of the ground. So they are both unbelievably strong at what they're doing. We've spoken about Hawthorn's offensive work recently getting better.
Yep.
The point of difference in this game, which will be the biggest thing that's on watch, is the ball movement game. Being able to go one end of the ground to the other. So the last 6 weeks, the Cats are clearly the best team in the competition at going one end of the ground to the other. And the Hawks are the third best at defending that.
Right.
Right. So they're going okay. Sorry.
Asset v asset.
Sorry. First, Geelong at moving it one end of the ground to the other. Hawthorn mid-table at defending it.
Right.
Sorry. And then Geelong, third best team in the competition at defending it. Hawthorn mid-table at moving it. And we know how important the ball movement game is when it comes to just in general games, but in finals and in prelim final footy as well. So that might be the point of difference in this game is can Hawthorn stop Geelong's ball movement and can they get their ball movement going? Because regardless of how you slice and dice the Geelong profile, there's one weakness and only one weakness in this profile, which is why they probably are the flag favourite at the moment. And that's their ability to stop transition scores. We've called them 40 winks for the year. If they don't concede 40 points out of the back half, they are 17-1. 17-1.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of how it is unbelievable what they're doing. But that is where they give you a chance because if you score over 40, they're 2-5 in those games. The challenge for the Hawks is AFL average is only 32 points. So it's a hard way to win.
Yeah.
But have they got, and they probably do have the ball users to be able to pull it off with Impey, Sicily, Amon, Weddle behind the footy a little bit as well, Scrimshaw, these guys. But can they get through to attack that weakness of Geelong? Because if they don't, everywhere else from a profile perspective, Geelong are absolutely rock solid.
You introduced his name. How much can one player, a la Weddle, who hasn't been there for most of the season, how much can he come back in and change that profile?
He's been unbelievable with what he's done. And they've clearly used him on the wing. He's clearly, from the outside doesn't look like he's got the tank at the moment to be able to run out a full game, which you understand, hence why he's going into the forward 50 for the last quarter and a half of a game. But you would think him going to a wing, which is why it's just another fascinating battle. Him and Dempsey, head to head on a wing. Just strap yourself in.
What a pair of athletes!
Strap yourself in with what's going to happen. Should they actually have that wing matchup?
If they played 5 games in a row, which excludes accuracy, because this could be decided so close on accuracy. Who would you think will win?
If it was the best out of 5, Geelong, I would be extremely confident Geelong would win. it is a one-off.
Yeah.
And Hawthorn are
Match
playing.
play.
Hawthorn are playing match play. Hawthorn are playing seriously good footy.
You've been speaking
So-
to Prelim. You on a best of 3 or something like that? You
No,
on a-
I just
you on
know
a
the
best of
way.
3 prelim
I know the
series?
way Hoyne thinks. One-off match play, accuracy can get you.
Yeah, accuracy can get you, which you can't predict. But that's just the Hawthorn
All right.
Geelong side.
That
of
is a
things.
ripping preview, Hoyne.
Good weather Friday night too. So there you go. We had the Hawks wagon,
Yeah,
we
good.
had the ball movement, and we had the bookends. All right,
The
Saturday.
wagon will go around
The
the
wagon.
world.
Give us
Wagons.
Saturday, the 3-point plan to Saturday.
All right.
For what to look for.
Where are we starting?
Fags has continually mentioned this for weeks on weeks, and we have spoken about it on this show at length. If you see the defensive hunt and defensive pressure that Brisbane have, you strap yourself in and good luck trying to beat them. You have got to be an unbelievable footy team to beat them. So AFL average for pressure is 180. Just keep that in mind. When they go above that, they have lost 2 games for the year. One of them was the game over in Adelaide where they should have won by 6 goals.
Yep,
Right? They did
with
blew it.
accuracy.
The other one was the qualifying final against Geelong, which shows how well the other mob, Geelong, are going at the moment to be able to hold up against it and do what they did. Right? So that's there for everyone to see. Finals pressure this year from the 6 games is at 188. Right? If Brisbane go to that or around that finals average this year, if you're a Brisbane supporter, you should be extremely excited and confident with what your team could produce off the back of their defensive pressure being high, the win rates that actually come from it. When they don't have that, their 5 lowest pressure games of the year, they've lost 4 out of the 5. Collingwood in round 6 took the game completely out of chaos and pressure in round. It was one of the more bizarre games that we've seen, but they completely took them out of pressure. Brisbane's pressure was about 150 for the night.
By doing what?
High kick mark game.
Go wide,
Just
slow.
Go wide, 100%. So that it was a bit of a weird game, that one. Grand final day, they did the exact same thing like we spoke about. They took it out of pressure.
Yep.
Can they do that on the weekend? Because as I said, when Brisbane aren't able to apply that pressure, then they can be gettable defensively. But when they have that, like they had for the first 3 quarters in particular on Saturday night, you're going to have to be bloody good to get the wind against them. If you're Collingwood, you are winning this prelim, and we've spoken about this for a couple of weeks, off the back of what you have done all year defensively. Your defensive profile has not changed from round 1 until preliminary final weekend. You lost 5 out of 6 games. You still had the 3rd best defensive profile in the competition. So we talk about the race to 80. Can you get to 80? Right? Well, can Collingwood defend their way to 80? And throughout a lot of this season, the answer is yes. And even over the last 6 weeks, over the last 6 games, they are the best defensive team in the competition. And Craig McRae keeps talking about this all the time. His players, every time you hear them interviewed, they keep referencing it. We're the best defensive team in the comp. Their pressure against Adelaide was off the charts, and their ability to be able to not get pressured is another significant strength of theirs. But if they can defend their way to 80 and restrict Brisbane from getting there, that is going to be the reason why they get to a prelim. You probably don't think, I'm not sure what the two of you think, whether or not they can get involved in a game that's 90, 95 to 100, whatever it might be. It's probably going to have to be a slog. Weather might be ordinary on Saturday, it might look wet, which might suit that, might bring a little bit more ground ball into the game there for Brisbane. But that is how they could get the job done. Preliminary final weekend is to continue what they have done from round 1 through until round 24. And then the final piece of the Collingwood Brisbane puzzle that we just wanted to speak about is Jamie Allett. Okay, so we know Nick is a superstar. I know Jordan De Goey's finals record is ridiculous. But what this guy does in terms of what they're able to do offensively, he is the piece to their offensive puzzle. And you just spoke before, Sammy, their ability to score 24 times from 49 entries against Adelaide. Rounds 1 to 17, we've spoken about how good their defence was, but rounds 1 to 17, They had the second best forward 50 in the comp. They had both pieces ticked off.
Yep.
Defence brilliant, offence brilliant. Rounds 18 and through until the end of the home and away season, they had the third worst forward 50 in the comp. Do you know what happened?
What happened?
Jamie Elliott at round 17, top 15 player in the comp. Jamie Elliott rounds 18 to 24, 333rd in the comp.
Cost him an All-Australian. Recency bias.
Do you know what happened in the qualifying final?
What happened in the qualifying final?
Adelaide decided to send Hugh Bond
Oh, yeah.
to Jamie Elliott.
Yeah.
You know what Jamie Elliott did in the qualifying final?
Smacked him.
Absolutely annihilating. Do you know what Collingwood did in the grand final, Sammy? 24 scores from 49 entries. He has to be up on the whiteboard
Yep.
for Brisbane and the coaching group. Going to work, we are not giving this
Who
guy.
gets him?
Has to be Starcevic.
Yep.
Just don't even think twice.
No.
That's this guy's finals. No, not even his finals record. Just this guy's record, Starcevic, over the last 2.5 years, 3 years. It's just been able to lock away on the oppo's best, small, medium sizer every week has been significant. And as I said, I just wouldn't be thinking about it twice. I'm not sure if you two think differently, but that's where I'd be going.
He's a bit like Jack Gunston. I mean, at this stage of his career, he's had what's he had? He's had 86 scoring shots on the season. He's kicked 56 goals, which is 17 more than at minimum at any stage over the course of his career. So not only is he producing he's producing infinitely better than he ever has. 56-30 on the year. The most he kicked in a season prior to this was 39 a couple of years prior. So the man is a serious danger.
Yeah. So that's you're probably looking at the other individuals inside forward 50 at the moment, and by all reports, Myercheck sounds a little bit injured.
No, he's not. Yeah.
Yeah. Mason Cox clearly did his role.
Yep.
You know, to what they wanted to do. No one went more long down the line than what Collingwood did.
Yep. Just
Made
get
a
Week
difference,
run of
didn't he?
finals, just get there, compete, be a contest, second ruck option. Potentially his job is to harass Andrews, try and get Harris out of the way, just given how well Harris is going at the moment.
Yeah.
So I think you look at the other individuals, who knows if Bobby Hill's there or not. But
Would you play Bobby Hill?
It's really Elliott is the one. So that matchup, that matchup there, this one could be a game where it is potentially under, it might be a 70 to
What was the
75
prelim score
sort
a
of
couple of
game.
years ago with GWS? 56,
we'll just talk about it on
57,
the
or
way in.
56,
Well, there's only
55
been
or
6 times the team's won a prelim in
Gee, that was
25
tense.
years.
Gee, that was tense.
And Brisbane and GWS scored 56 points that year. So just a couple of things to keep an eye out
All right.
for
Roosie
prelim
would have got the
weekend.
other 4, I reckon.